Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Thunderstorms starting to fire across northern parts of Illinois and Indiana. Will they be here by sunrise? And what about the heat for the rest of the week?
A crowded stage for the first Democratic presidential debate, the key moments, and what President Trump thinks of it all.
It's a controversial new technology to help police on the streets.
Big Brother is watching, but we got to make sure we got an even bigger brother, which is the people who are watching them.
We'll start with quite an issue. Good to have you with us here tonight at 11. The city of Detroit has credited the Green Light camera program with helping get criminals off the streets. Well, now that program is expanding.
Tomorrow, the Detroit Police Commissioners Board will vote on using a controversial facial recognition system. Jermont Terry is live with how it works and why not everybody is on board with this, Jermont.
Kimberly, you can find traffic cameras at just about every intersection throughout Detroit. But tonight, there's a new push, and many people are questioning this push by DPD to add facial recognition to many of these traffic cameras that you see that monitors the traffic. They're saying, at what cost are we giving up our privacy?
When people see the green light flashing at businesses in Detroit, they know they are under surveillance. Those cameras are monitored here at police headquarters at the Real-Time Crime Center.
Green lights, have it deterred criminals from doing any kind of activity in the city of Detroit? We haven't gotten any data on that.
Many attending this community forum do not support the push to expand the monitoring. A vote is expected to come before the police commission this week to add facial recognition beyond green light businesses to traffic cameras.
We're over-policed as it is. We're over-surveilled as it is.
Those opposed to the measure believe DPD is not being transparent.
Police department and in the police commission are ramming through policies without any proper public comment.
Willie Burton is a commissioner who is also demanding DPD explain to Detroiters what they will do with this data.
How much data has been collected so far year to date, since the department has been utilizing this for about a year?
Supporters counter, saying it really only comes into play when someone commits a crime.
Facial recognition is a tool. It's a single tool, and it can be a very valuable tool when utilized with other parts of an investigation.
But civil rights attorneys believe it's a slippery slope, and the current law lags behind technology.
It raises real concerns for the civil liberties of people of color.
Now, a DPD spokesperson says that the facial technology will never be the sole identifier in helping to identify a suspect in a case, adding that it's only used as one particular assisting tool in solving the crime. We should point out that the commission, they meet tomorrow night, I should say tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock at DPD headquarters, where they are expected to vote. Reporting live tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Hey, Jermont, and if this passes the commission tomorrow, then what? What's next?
Well, Kimberly, it's just the police commissioners, they will vote, but this still has to get approved and go through the city council. And we should point out the people at that forum tonight, they're saying they're hoping that they can get the ear of council members to potentially put a halt to this and have a little bit more community impact before this goes into law.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, Jermont.
After a nice, warm, sunny day, a clear and rather cool night across Metro Detroit.
Let's get right over to Ben, who's tracking storm chances for the rest of the week, Ben.
We are, and don't forget to add low humidity, because that's probably the last time we'll get to say that this week, too. We're watching some thunderstorms that are just meandering down here across northern parts of Indiana. They're not moving very fast, and we got some pretty heavy downpours within them. Most of these should stay south of us and dissipate. There's just a slight chance that some of those are going to brush our south zone overnight. Otherwise, we're going to be watching the afternoon hours to see those thunderstorms return. We made it to 87 today. We're only going to add a degree or two to the at least air temperature. The feels like temperature is going to be the big difference tomorrow. We'll be at 83 by noon. It's going to feel like 90 plus tomorrow. Wait till you see the 4-zone forecast and how some of us are going to bake in the afternoon. That's all in a few minutes. Kim?
Okay, Ben. The mother of a 5-year-old girl found dead inside a Redford motel has been arrested along with her boyfriend. Investigators are now ruling the little girl's death a homicide. Police say the girl wasn't breathing when they found her yesterday morning with the mother's boyfriend. An autopsy determined blunt force trauma as the cause of death. Charges are pending.
With 495 days until the next presidential election tonight, Miami hosted the first Democratic presidential debate. 10 candidates sharing the stage, one part of two. Jay Gray has some of tonight's key moments. Jay?
Hoots and hollers as the candidates take the stage for a group photo, and then the official start of the race for the White House. Round one of the Democratic debate opening with a rapid-fire format.
We need to make structural change in our government, in our economy.
Candidates sticking to the 60-second time limit, answering questions on a range of issues, including the economy, jobs, and education. There were a few swipes at President Trump.
This president is literally every single day 10 minutes away from going to war, one tweet away from going to war, and I don't think we should conduct foreign policy in our bathrobe.
And watching from Air Force One on his way to the G20 summit in Japan, he posted boring, referring to the debate.
I'm with Bernie on Medicare for all, and let me tell you why. I've spent a big chunk of my life studying why families go broke. And one of the number one reasons is the cost of health care.
The first real exchange coming as the discussion turns to health care.
I think that choice is fundamental.
The back and forth continuing.
La situación ahora es inaceptable.
As the talks shift to immigration.
Number one, we end the ICE policies and the customs and border policies that are violating the human rights.
The issues like gun control, Supreme Court appointments, and climate change continue to drive the debate.
Actually, as a member of Congress, I helped to introduce legislation that would ensure that we don't criminalize those who are seeking asylum and refuge in this country. If you're fleeing desperation, then I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small part of this. I'm talking about a comprehensive rewrite of our immigration laws.
That's not true.
A crowded field searching for any way to grab the early attention of voters. Jay Gray, NBC News, Miami.
All right, Jay, another key moment during tonight's debate involved Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio, who used his time to criticize General Motors.
We lost 4,000 jobs at a General Motors facility. That rippled throughout our community. General Motors got a tax cut. General Motors got a bailout. And then they have the audacity to move a new car that they're going to produce to Mexico.
As you might expect, Ryan's district in Ohio is where the Lordstown Assembly Plant is located. That was one of 5 plants to be shut down by GM, impacting more than 1,400 workers. Here's a look at the candidates that'll be sharing the stage in Miami tomorrow night, the next 10, and you can watch that debate here as well, just like you did tonight. Our Local 4 coverage will start at 9 p.m. Elsewhere tonight, it was a great run. Unfortunately, the Wolverines came up short. 1 win short in the College World Series.
That's right. Bernie's here now. This team still has a lot to be proud of, really.
Sure. Well, no one expected Michigan to get this far. I mean, that's absolute. But once you sniff the trophy, you want to take that trophy home with you. Tonight in Omaha, Vanderbilt beats Michigan the final 8-2 to win the College World Series. This was the third and deciding game. We've got highlights. Vanderbilt third, bases loaded. Steven Scott singles here to center. That scores 2 runs. Commodores led at this point 3-1. They win it 8-2. Vanderbilt, the second seed in the tournament. No one expected to see Michigan there. So from one point of view, it's amazing what they accomplished. But again, when you get so close, you always want to finish the job. You'll hear from the Wolverines later coming up in sports.
Never really quite felt like they were in it after they fell behind early.
Yeah,
so that's another tough part.
Yeah, that was a tough starter they had on the other side.
Sure was.
Yeah.
All right, more from Bertie coming up.
Still ahead, a mother is forced to fight off a stranger trying to snatch her children.
What police are now saying about the incident that happened in the middle of the country's busiest airport.
I just want to get to my wedding.
Police responded to what they thought was an accident involving a nervous bride-to-be. What happened next ended with her in handcuffs. Mara.
Upscale retailer Nordstrom says it is pulling out of Partridge Creek.
I'm very disappointed.
So what's the timeline on the departure and what is coming next?
The 4th of July holiday weekend quickly approaching. Are you looking to get out of town but on a budget? The top destinations you can enjoy with the entire family without breaking the bank.